To add our score UI, we'll have to go back to our canvas, and we have already created this like in our first or second video. Here we're gonna add an empty game object that we're gonna call score, and this is where our score is going to be. Now we're gonna put this on stretch, like all over the place, and then add inside of it our UI text. And first we're gonna start with our best score text. As for the best score text, let's say here, for example, it will be 10. Allegiant will be middle. As for this, it will be 000, but here I'm gonna put it, let's say 117, It's not gonna be visible that much. Then we're gonna change the font to Gotham Ultra, and we're gonna set that our font size will be 35. Now once that is done, we're gonna put it to be at the top center. Let me just increase width and height so we can actually see it. Let me put here 100. And we can see it. And by this, if I put like 50, it's kind of too big for this one. So I may just scale it down a bit. Let me try here. Oh, my bad. Let me try here. Scale it down. Okay, 25 should be fine. I'm gonna leave it at 25. As for our best score text, is gonna have one more thing, and that is UI image. So let me add an image. This will be our crown. So crown, and we're gonna search for the crown itself. As for the crown, I'm gonna say width and height will be, let's say 40 by 45. Let me move it. This is too much. Then we're gonna say 35 by 30. No, 35 by 35. Too big. 30 by 20. Actually, 30 by 25. No, 30 by 30. Okay, this looks nice. Why not? Now we're gonna put the same color as we put for our high score, and this will be it. Except I'm gonna move them around a bit. I'm gonna say 0, maybe here. Like this, play around with it, see what you like. And basically, pretty much that will be it. Now, that is for our best score text. As for our high score, actually just for our score, I'm gonna duplicate this, delete the crown, and rename this to our score text. Here for the score text, I'm gonna put 0, so it actually represents itself on its own, and I'm gonna put it to be here right in the middle of the screen. So this is how our score is going to look like, and this is how our best score is going to look like. Now I'm gonna leave them both on, or actually, yeah, I'm gonna leave them both on, because later on we'll actually change it throughout the script. And what script is better to do than to go to script, UI script, and create a C# script that we're gonna call our score, and put our score script onto our score game object. Let me wait for Udemy, for Unity to load up, and then open up our score script. Now inside of our score script, we're gonna have our private text score, so text score text. And I forgot using Unity engine.ui, so we can actually access the UI itself. And we're gonna have our private score, or actually private best score text. So best score text with lowercase b. In the awake function, we're gonna say that our score text equals to game object dot find. Actually, we can say transform dot get child count. We're gonna get an index 1 dot get component, and we're getting its text. And yeah, as for the best score text, it will be 0, because as you know, array starts from 0, not from 1. Let me go and check. So 0 and 1. I did not make a mistake, but this is gonna be not score, but actually our best score text. Now in the update function, we're gonna check if our ball.z actually get z equals to 0, then our best score dot text dot game object will be dot set active will be true. So true, come on. And our score text dot game object dot set active will be false. Else, if we start moving, we are actually gonna do the exact opposite thing. Will be this true and this will be false. As further on, we are gonna say that our score text dot text equals to game controller dot instance dot score, which I haven't dot to string, so dot to string like this. Let me go and change our score, which is private for now, to put it in the public integer, so public int score, so we can actually get access of it. It's a lot easier than to add a getters or setters actually, because they're not really, I mean, there is no big difference. Then we're gonna say if our game controller dot instance dot score, and we're gonna use again if it's greater than our player preferences dot get integer, and we're getting our high score. And high score by default will be 0. Now, if that is true by any chance, we're gonna say that our player preferences dot set integer, and we're gonna set our high score to be to our score, just game controller actually dot instance dot score, like this. And then we are gonna copy this, so we're gonna copy it and put it here and change to best score text equals to player preferences dot get integer, and we're getting the high score. So let me put here a high score, which is by default 0. We can leave it like this. So basically this will be it for our score. So we're just getting it, we are setting what will be on, what will be off, because if we're staying in the place we want to see our best score, while we are running the game we want to see just our score, and we're setting that to be true. So our score text will be equal to score, and our best score will be only true if it passes our get score. And if you remember, our player preferences gets and stores, let me do the stores and access preferences get, okay, I'm gonna do it my way. Player preferences actually stores a value that you can get by a key, or actually ID. And even though no matter how much time passes, do you quit game or not, it will always be saved. My bad. It will be always saved, so you can use it later on and throughout the script. Now, what better way to do it than to test it? If I press play, we should see our high score is 0. Let me see, score is 0. But now let's say I've made some score like 10, 20, 30, 30, 40, 50, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, and 110. And I finish. The high score is immediately 110, as you can see. Now, this doesn't look as awesome as I thought it would be, so let me just rename it to 20. Actually, no. I'm gonna leave it as this. 25. But now you saw in the preview video we had here like perfect score coming up and some bubble, kind of like a bubble, which made things a lot better and smoother. That is what we call point display. So we're gonna create an empty game object, reset its position, and add here point display. So point display. As for our point display, we're gonna have our mesh renderer, which material will be font, so font material. They're all the same. Actually, bold, light, I'm gonna use ultra, why not? Then we're gonna have our text mesh, so text mesh, that's what are we gonna use? And let's say here, perfect 11. That's what I want to say. Let me pull it up so I can actually see it. Now, as for the other things, this looks silly. We're gonna say that character size will be 0.003. As for the font, we are gonna say Gotham Ultra. So Gotham Ultra. Our font size will be 300. so we can actually see it. And we can't even see it. Let me put it to be 0. Where is it? Yeah, it is kind of visible, am I right? So actually, I'm gonna even increase it. Actually, I'm gonna put it to middle center first, because that is what I was searching for. Middle center, then center, and let's say 350. Actually, add here a plus. I mean, it doesn't like changes like too much, but okay, I'm satisfied with this. I mean, you can even increase it to 500 if you would like. That's too much. Let's say 450, kind of too big. 400, 430. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 430. As for the color, I'm gonna leave it white. Then we're gonna have our animation. So go ahead and add animation. First, we're gonna start from 0.7 and we're gonna start from 0 for the Z. Okay, that makes some sense. Let's leave it at 300. Yeah, that was my bad. Like, it looked too big when you put it like here. Here it looks small, smaller, but when you bring it up, it looks big enough. Now, let's create an animation. This will be our point display animation. That is how I'm gonna call it. You can call it even score animation. I mean, it doesn't even matter. First animation will be to actually record it from 0.7 to go, let's say by 1 minute. 1 minute, or actually 60 seconds, to go to 1. So this is the first thing that we're going to do. So this is the first animation. It goes up like this. Another animation that will be is to put onto frame 5 to increase our scale to 1.2 and 1.2. And I think it was on the Z2, so 1.2 like this. So actually Z doesn't make any sense. So that's another one. So actually increase it. And then after, so that will be at 5th. And then here we're gonna record it again and put it back to 1 as it starts off. So it's gonna go big, then it's gonna go smaller, and then last but not least, it's gonna increase again at the end. So 1.2, then 1.2, and at the end it's going to disappear to 0 like this, and go here and record 0, 0. And in the end, this is what are we getting. So we go, boom. So this is the animation that we are getting, and it's perfect as it says here. So it's gonna blow up, like pop off, and then it goes down. So you can see pop off and then and disappears. Now we're gonna go to Animator and actually remove our loop time, and we are actually gonna have our point display to be first thing. As for the point display, we will have to go to resources and add it here, because we're gonna prefab it. We are always gonna spawn it when it's needed. But our point display will have a script, so let's go to scripts, UI, and create a C# script that we're gonna call point display. One thing I noticed is this video is getting longer, but I'm gonna leave it that way because I have like too much videos that are short. This one is gonna be a bit longer for those guys who loves longer videos. And here we're gonna add our point display and hit apply. Now we can delete the point display from the scene, and we're gonna open up that in our script. As for the point display, it's gonna be pretty simple. First, we're gonna search for our text, which is our private text mesh, which I'm gonna call text. And in the awake function, so let me say in the awake function, we're gonna say that our text equals to our get component. So get component, we're getting our text mesh. Pretty simple. We already done this. Too much time for you not to know. Then here we are gonna have our void update, which is gonna say transform.position equals to new vector 3. And we're gonna say transform.position.x, transform.position.y, and then we're gonna have our ball.getZ. That will be it for the Z function. And then we can say destroy this game object after like 1.2 f a second, because actually I think this will be enough, so we'll test it out. And last but not least, we're gonna have our public void set text, which takes our string text, and here we're gonna say that our text.color, actually we put it to be white, but just in case, text.color, why this won't work? So private text mesh equals text component get mesh. Yep. Actually text.text equals to our text, which is here. Okay, the problem is they're both called text, so for this we'll have to say this dot text equals to text, which is here. As you know, so this text will be this text, and this text here will be this text here. So this text dot text, okay, I'm gonna rename this text dot mesh, so you don't get confused. And now this text equals to this text here that we're gonna put on. And just in case, I'm gonna say that text mesh dot color will equal to color dot white, no matter what. And pretty much we are done with our point display. Now all there to it is that we're gonna go to our ball, and when we hit our game object, we're gonna check if our perfect star is true and we haven't displayed, something will happen. And before we actually put something to happen, we're gonna add one more boolean, which will be our displayed. Now if our displayed, and if our perfect score is there and it's not displayed, then we're gonna say that our displayed equals to true. So we're gonna only call this once. Then we're gonna say that our game object, point display equals to our instantiate, and we are searching for the resources dot load, and we are loading our point display as a game object, so as game object. Then comma transform dot positions, transform command dot position. Can this even work? I don't know. And then quaternion dot identity, like this. Why is that this? Oh, my bad. So not this is game object, but actually the whole thing as a game object. But why this won't work? Transform dot position. Did I misspell it or what? I don't know. Never mind. Then we're gonna say that our point display dot get component, we're getting its point display script, then dot set text, and we are setting our text to be perfect, so perfect, then put some space in it, plus, or actually space and then plus our game controller dot instance dot, actually my bad, actually we're getting our player preferences dot get integer, and we're getting our level that will be multiplied by 2, and then put a semicolon. That will be it. Now else if both of them are not true, so else if this is not true and this is not true, we're gonna do exact same thing, except we're not gonna duplicate this level, but we're gonna leave it like this, and here we're just gonna add our plus and not perfect. So just like this, plus and then level. And before I continue, we're gonna go back here in update, where we're gonna say that our display is all the time equal to false. And we're gonna go back to point display, where we have to add here late update. It's not update, it's late update. Now let's go back to script, destroy or actually remove our point display, our prefab, not rename it but remove it, and with this we can test it out. Now we can see that our cool text will come out like some particle systems. You can see perfect. If we don't hit it, it's going to be +7. If we hit it, it's perfect 14, and this looks really cool. Like, I pretty much like it, and the more I see it, the more I enjoy it. I don't know, I'm just happy about it. Hope you like it. I'm hoping that it will get used. This will get used, because this animation, should I say, is awesome, and I will sure use it later on in my games, that's for sure. So that will be it for this video. Hope you like it. It's kind of a bit too long. It's for like 20 minutes, but I guess it was about the time I put some longer videos. So guys, until next time, I'm Amar, and I will see you in the next video.